In the stillness of the Arizona desert night, the ground began to tremble, just slightly. A strange signal appeared on the border radar, not from the sky but from deep beneath the earth. Inside the control room, the agents exchanged glances. No one spoke. Only the steady hum of the surveillance system filled the silence. For weeks, this stretch of desert had been marked as safe, with no signs of smuggling or illegal crossings. But that night, a series of small anomalies led to one of the most shocking discoveries in U.S. border security history. Hidden beneath the sand was a structure stretching thousands of feet, equipped with lighting, ventilation, and a sophisticated transport system, operating silently under the desert floor. The questions came fast. Who built it? How could it be so advanced that it escaped every satellite in orbit? And what was really happening beneath America's southern border? Join Military Power as we uncover the full story. Don't forget to subscribe to Military Power and explore with us the weapons, strategies, and political choices behind America's new war against the cartels. Now, let's get into the video. In June 2025, federal agents near Yuma, Arizona, made a discovery that stunned even veteran Border Patrol officers. Beneath the quiet desert soil lay a hidden structure unlike anything they had seen before. A fully engineered tunnel stretching nearly 2,900 feet. The passage connected Mexico to U.S. territory, equipped with concrete walls, electric lights, air ventilation, and even a small rail system for transporting cargo. What seemed at first like another smuggling route soon revealed the fingerprints of a cartel operation built with industrial precision. Investigators said the structure was not a quick escape path, but a long-term transport corridor. Drones equipped with ground-penetrating radar traced the tunnel's route from a warehouse in San Luis Rio, Colorado, Mexico, directly beneath the border fence into Arizona. The technology confirmed that the builders had mapped the area carefully, exploiting natural rock layers to mask heat and vibration. For U.S. authorities, it was more than a security breach. It was proof that cartel engineering had reached a new level of sophistication. From its reinforced walls to its complex wiring, every detail showed planning, funding, and expertise far beyond a small-scale smuggling attempt. Border Patrol Chief Jason Owens described it as a logistics pipeline, not a tunnel, reflecting how organized criminal groups have begun to mimic legitimate industries. The discovery forced Washington to ask difficult questions. How many others like it already exist? And how much deeper have cartels embedded themselves beneath U.S. soil? What makes the Yuma Tunnel exceptional is not only its length, but the level of professionalism behind it. Experts say the use of concrete reinforcement, lighting, and ventilation shows the involvement of trained engineers, likely recruited by cartels from legitimate construction sectors in Mexico. The inclusion of a rail track suggests plans for sustained, high-volume transport, a sign that drug trafficking networks are no longer operating as shadowy gangs, but as structured corporations with advanced logistics. For Americans who follow military and geopolitical affairs, this discovery marks a turning point in border security. It demonstrates that the battle against smuggling has evolved from chasing trucks and boats to detecting threats hidden beneath the earth. Drones and seismic sensors now patrol as modern sentinels, revealing that the next frontier of national defense may lie underground. The Yuma Tunnel exposes a harsh truth. America's southern border is not only porous from above, but also vulnerable from below. With its industrial-grade design and cross-border reach, the structure stands as a silent warning. The front line in the war against organized crime has shifted. What once belonged to deserts and highways now extends under our feet, redefining how the United States must defend its territory in the years to come. When U.S. agents entered the tunnel near Yuma, Arizona, what they found was not a crude hole in the ground, but a feat of underground engineering. Its design showed a deep understanding of construction, ventilation, and electrical systems, the kind normally seen in commercial projects, not smuggling routes. Reinforced concrete lined the walls, giving the tunnel strength to withstand soil pressure. Layers of waterproof coating prevented collapse or moisture leaks, proving that this was meant to last for years, not days. Lighting cables ran along the ceiling while heavy fans provided air circulation for workers or cargo handlers who might spend hours underground. A narrow rail track stretched through the tunnel's spine, allowing carts to move packages efficiently and silently through the darkness. Experts say such a setup can move hundreds of pounds of contraband in a single run. For law enforcement, it was clear this was no improvised job. It was a large-scale logistics operation built to serve a disciplined, well-funded criminal supply chain. The entrance on the Mexican side was hidden beneath a warehouse floor, perfectly sealed with a removable concrete slab. From above, there were no visible signs, no heat, no vibration, no unusual soil movement. Inside, investigators discovered motion sensors and infrared detectors placed along the walls, likely meant to detect intruders or rival cartel members. Officials said these internal defenses represented the next generation of smuggling design where technology meets secrecy. The system could alert operators if law enforcement attempted to enter from the US side. In other words, this tunnel had its own layered security network. According to early technical analysis, the precision of the construction suggested involvement from the Sinaloa cartel. The group is known for recruiting civil engineers and electricians, paying them to build tunnels that rival military-grade facilities in complexity and durability. While legal confirmation is pending, investigators noted striking similarities with Sinaloa tunnels found in Nogales and San Diego over the past decade. Same depth, same ventilation pattern, same materials, and the same ruthless efficiency. What made the Yuma Tunnel stand out was its clear operational design. Experts called it a model of underground logistics. Enter, collect, move the goods, and exit, all within minutes. This system reduces the risk of detection by limiting exposure on both sides of the border. Each section had a specific purpose: storage near the entry, loading zone in the middle, and rapid exit point at the end. Such design mirrors supply chain efficiency seen in modern military logistics and wartime engineering. It's built for repeat use, capable of supporting daily transfers, and designed to withstand inspection or partial flooding. American engineers assisting in the investigation estimated that constructing a tunnel of this quality would require months of planning, tens of thousands of dollars in materials, and skilled labor familiar with ventilation mechanics and acoustic masking. Simply put, it was an underground highway for cartels, and it was operating right beneath U.S. soil. Once the structure's full layout was mapped, U.S. agents moved to seal off the exits and plan simultaneous raids. Using drones and ground-penetrating radar, they pinpointed every curve and chamber, confirming the tunnel's reach across 2,900 feet of desert bedrock. The mission shifted from surveillance to eradication. The tunnel was filled section by section with concrete, while forensic teams collected samples of tools, wiring, and soil residue for evidence. For Washington, the Yuma Tunnel symbolizes a new stage in border warfare. The challenge is no longer about fences or drones in the sky, but hidden infrastructure beneath the surface. Each discovery like this forces the U.S. to rethink its approach, combining military-style intelligence, construction science, and digital tracking to counter criminal engineering. As one DHS officer put it, "We're not just fighting smugglers anymore, we're fighting engineers." The tunnel near Yuma stands as proof that the battlefield has expanded underground. A silent war where steel, concrete, and cunning have replaced guns, gunfire, and the old rules of defense. Operation Deep Seal is a coordinated multi-agency campaign that treats cartel tunnels as critical infrastructure and criminal networks as organized supply chains. It unites the DEA, DHS, including HSI, FBI, U.S. Border Patrol, and local prosecutors under a single operational command. Each agency contributes a different strength: intelligence gathering, legal authority, engineering support, and tactical response. The campaign's purpose is simple but ambitious: to map, seal, and dismantle the entire network that allows cross-border drug smuggling to function. Deep Seal is not limited to a single site. It targets the logistics system itself: the tunnels, warehouses, transport trucks, and the money channels behind them. For the public, Deep Seal represents a shift in strategy. Law enforcement is moving from chasing shipments to attacking infrastructure. Instead of arresting runners after the fact, agencies now strike the operational backbone that sustains cartel activity. The first phase begins with detailed mapping and reconnaissance. Accurate mapping is vital because authorities must fully understand the structure before attempting to close it. Specialized teams deploy drone ISR to monitor surface movement, while ground-penetrating radar and seismic sensors detect voids below. Small, tethered robots and sondes explore internal chambers, capturing 3D scans of every corner. Each finding is uploaded into a shared data system, allowing engineers and intelligence officers to build a digital model of the tunnel. This model helps locate secondary exits, hidden ventilation shafts, and nearby storage rooms used for staging cargo. Mapping is also supported by analysts who cross-reference satellite imagery and commercial shipping data. By merging physical and electronic intelligence, the task force can predict where other tunnels might connect or branch off underground. Once the tunnel is fully mapped, containment becomes the priority. Engineers block entrances, reinforce weak sections, and prepare to seal them without destroying critical evidence. Reinforced concrete and controlled backfill are used to collapse key areas safely. This step denies the cartel any chance of re-entry or reuse. It also stabilizes the ground above, preventing accidents in nearby neighborhoods or industrial zones. After containment comes the multi-directional raid. Agents strike at several targets at once: warehouse fronts, financial hubs, and suspected command sites. Each team acts on synchronized timing to prevent suspects from warning one another or wiping digital records. Local prosecutors issue immediate warrants, while federal agents seize documents, vehicles, and communication devices that link the physical tunnel to the financial network. The entire operation is executed in hours, not days, forcing the smugglers into confusion and disarray. This combined action, engineering plus law enforcement, is what makes Deep Seal different from past tunnel busts. It eliminates both the structure and the command system in one coordinated strike. Technology lies at the core of Deep Seal's success. Drones provide real-time ISR. Radar and seismic sensors reveal subsurface geometry, and digital forensics trace money flows, freight routes, and communications. By connecting these technologies, investigators can move from discovering a tunnel to dismantling the network that financed it. The campaign pursues two connected goals: destroy the infrastructure so it can never be reused, dismantle the human network that built and maintained it. Early results show these tunnels require millions of dollars and skilled labor. Some are built with professional engineering precision, proving that cartels now operate more like private logistics companies than gangs. Strategically, Deep Seal changes the battlefield. The fight against drug smuggling is no longer about fences and patrols. It has entered the realm of infrastructure warfare. By blending intelligence, construction science, and prosecution, the United States is learning to combat organized crime the same way it counters military threats: through speed, coordination, and dominance of the underground domain. Operation Deep Seal did far more than just close a tunnel. It dismantled the logistical backbone of one of the most advanced cartel networks on the US-Mexico border. In a single coordinated strike, federal and local agents seized 8,000 pounds of cocaine, a cache of firearms, several kinds of illegal substances, and over $4 million in cash. These figures alone reveal the massive scale of the underground operation. Each pound of cocaine taken off the streets represents not only revenue lost to the cartels, but also lives spared from addiction, crime, and violence that follow the drug trade. Authorities confirmed that the tunnel served as a high-capacity transport route, capable of moving thousands of pounds of narcotics within days. It was a silent artery beneath the desert, efficient, well-designed, and connected to financial pipelines stretching deep into both countries. Shutting it down meant cutting off a vital lifeline for cartel logistics and striking at the very core of its transnational power. Deep Seal also targeted the people behind the infrastructure. A total of 62 suspects were arrested, among them civil engineers, construction technicians, transport coordinators, and even American citizens working as logistics support. Their arrests exposed how far cartel influence had reached into professional and technical fields. These were not untrained smugglers or local laborers. They were skilled workers who used legitimate knowledge to build an illegal empire beneath U.S. soil. Investigators say some suspects were paid through shell construction companies that disguised cartel projects as routine industrial work. The inclusion of U.S.-based personnel marked a turning point. It proved that the cartel's network wasn't confined to Mexico, but had already embedded itself into the American side of the border economy. This revelation gave the operation a second victory, dismantling not just a physical route, but also the human chain that sustained it. Officials described Deep Seal as the most coordinated underground takedown in 2 decades. By arresting technicians, engineers, and financiers at once, the task force disrupted the entire command structure. Without them, future tunnels cannot be built or maintained with the same precision. The campaign's results go beyond numbers. They deliver a strategic message. By removing what U.S. investigators called the cartel's golden bottleneck, Deep Seal forced smuggling operations to face higher risk, greater expense, and longer delays. The underground passage, once considered untouchable, was now sealed, filled with reinforced concrete and under permanent surveillance. This decisive move sent shockwaves through cartel circles and created a powerful deterrent. Smugglers who once believed in the tunnel's security now face a reality where every hidden corridor could become a trap. More importantly, the investigation's financial data continues to trace back to the Sinaloa cartel's command network, linking money transfers, construction plans, and supply routes to its leadership in northwestern Mexico. From a strategic view, Deep Seal shows that border security is evolving from reactive patrols to proactive infrastructure warfare. Instead of chasing trucks and boats, U.S. forces now hunt down the systems that make such operations possible. The operation's legacy is clear. It didn't just seal a tunnel, it sealed an era. By seizing massive quantities of cocaine, arresting 62 operatives, and eliminating millions in assets, Deep Seal has changed how America fights the underground war on smuggling. It marked the point where intelligence, technology, and coordination combined to strike fear straight into the heart of the cartel machine. The tunnel's structure made one thing clear. It was the work of the Sinaloa cartel. Investigators said its precision engineering, reinforced walls, and built-in lighting and ventilation reflected a cartel that values secrecy, speed, and safety above all. Every inch was designed to move tons of narcotics under the U.S.-Mexico border without leaving a trace. Similar tunnels discovered in San Diego, Nogales, and Otay Mesa over the past decade share the same layout and materials, proving a clear pattern. Law enforcement officers now call them Sinaloa blueprints, a term for tunnels so advanced they resemble military infrastructure rather than criminal projects. Experts believe this sophistication shows how far the cartel's engineering teams have evolved. They rely on professional miners, civil engineers, and even retired construction workers to build the underground systems. Each tunnel costs several $1 million, but is worth the investment because a single week of operation can recover the entire expense through drug shipments. These operations demonstrate that Sinaloa is not just surviving, but expanding its technical capacity, adapting faster than most governments can respond. Behind the tunnel lies Sinaloa's true weapon, its logistics model. U.S. intelligence calls it the honeycomb network, where each cell, like a beehive chamber, handles one phase of the operation. Drugs move through multiple stages, from hidden labs in Mexico to storage warehouses inside the United States, often disguised as legal distribution centers. Licensed trucking firms, shipping containers, and customs paperwork are used to mask illicit cargo among legitimate goods. Once inside U.S. territory, money flows backward. The profits are laundered through shell companies dealing in import-export, construction, and agriculture. Every step is layered to appear legal, allowing billions in cash to cross back into Mexico without drawing attention. According to DEA analysts, Sinaloa's financial arm now rivals small corporations in its sophistication. Investigators estimate that more than 60% of cartel profits move through this mirror economy, blending with legitimate trade routes that span from Los Angeles to Houston and Chicago. This is why the Yuma Tunnel isn't just a smuggling route. It's part of a vast economic machine. Each shipment, each tunnel, and each warehouse forms a single link in a multi-billion-dollar chain that turns illegal trafficking into a self-sustaining business empire. Evidence from the U.S. side revealed something even more alarming: the participation of American collaborators. These individuals handled transportation, warehouse management, and document processing to give the cartel's shipments a legitimate appearance. Some were small business owners or freight agents, unaware of the full scope of their involvement. Others were fully complicit, paid generously to keep operations quiet. Their role was to maintain legal fronts, registering companies, signing rental contracts, and producing fake manifests that matched real cargo. Analysts warned that this cooperation signals a dangerous shift from pure crime to hybrid infiltration. The Sinaloa network now functions like a shadow version of global trade, where money, goods, and data cross borders more easily than law enforcement can track. The discovery of the Yuma Tunnel exposed a deeper threat: that America's border security is not only challenged from the outside, but also compromised from within. The line between crime and commerce has blurred. Every new tunnel or warehouse represents not only a smuggling route, but also an attack on sovereignty and control. The issue is no longer just about drugs or cartels. It has become a matter of national security and the integrity of America's borders. The discovery of the Yuma Tunnel triggered an immediate political storm in both Washington and Mexico City. What started as a local investigation quickly evolved into a national debate about border security, technology, and sovereignty. In the U.S., the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, called for emergency meetings with Mexican counterparts, leading to new talks about expanding bilateral security operations. For both nations, the message was clear. This was no longer just a drug trafficking issue, but a matter of national defense. Under growing pressure, U.S. pledged a major investment in underground detection and AI surveillance systems. These included seismic sensors, acoustic monitors, and ground-penetrating radars designed to detect even the faintest sound of tunneling. New algorithms using artificial intelligence can now identify unusual soil vibrations or magnetic anomalies from miles away, predicting possible digging zones before a tunnel is complete. DHS engineers estimate that this technology could reduce detection time by over half, while lowering field operation costs by millions of dollars annually. At the same time, Mexico's government responded by tightening its northern border security. President López Obrador authorized additional National Guard deployments and agreed to share real-time surveillance data with U.S. agencies, a historic step in bilateral cooperation. Joint task forces were formed, integrating U.S. and Mexican intelligence to track cartel engineers and intercept financial transactions funding underground networks. In Washington, the Yuma case became a symbol of political urgency. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle demanded tougher border policies, more funding for customs and border protection, and stronger manpower for immigration and customs enforcement. ICE committee hearings emphasized one core idea: no country can guarantee national security without controlling its borders. That statement shaped a new strategic direction, shifting from traditional walls and fences towards smart surveillance and joint operations powered by AI. Ultimately, Yuma became more than a breakthrough in law enforcement. It became a model for the next generation of border security. The discovery forced policymakers to accept that the future battlefield is no longer visible to the naked eye. It lies underground, in data centers, and in the silent world of algorithms where every vibration and every signal can expose a hidden threat. From one tunnel, a new era of border defense was born. The Yuma operation marked a turning point, shifting U.S. strategy from chasing surface-level criminals to dismantling underground networks through technology and data. It proved that border defense in the modern age depends not on walls, but on intelligence, sensors, and seamless coordination across agencies. Experts warn that as one tunnel is shut down, cartels like Sinaloa may simply relocate their operations to new regions or use more advanced concealment methods. That is why Washington's future focus must combine artificial intelligence, seismic detection, and cross-border financial tracking to predict and prevent new threats. Real success will depend on sustained political will, constant funding, and unified action among federal, state, and international partners. The Yuma case delivers a clear message. Real security is not built on symbolism or slogans, but on evidence, technology, and decisive action that protects sovereignty and restores control over America's borders. War reminds us how fragile peace truly is, and peace reminds us why war should never be taken lightly. If this story gave you a deeper understanding of both, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Military Power. Together, we can keep learning from history, exploring the reality behind conflict, and discovering how knowledge can be the first step toward lasting peace.